happened to everybody? Everybody went home for the last days of Hanukkah?
There's a lot of people. Yeah, sounds good.
Abigail Strauss is online. Hello.
Bring it for your hat.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we're going to say a chapter of Tehillim for the protection of the Jewish people. I guess we didn't say it well enough the other day for the first light of Hanukkah. Terrible tragedy, terrible. There's a write-up online about all the people who were killed. Outstanding individuals. All of them. Many of them were killed protecting others.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the glee, the happiness, the excitement that must have been pumping through these people. Look what we've got here. A whole congregation of sitting ducks, and we have automatic rifles, which is knock them all down. Terrible, terrible. A religion of death. Their greatest joy is to kill an enemy. If they get killed, they don't mind. Lam not say David, but life will always win. That's what we say in the end of this chapter of Tehillim. They come with their cavalry, with their chariots and their cavalry. They stumbled and they stumble and they fall. And we have stood up and we are still standing strong. Lam Natseyach Mizmor David Yancha Adonai B'Yem Tzareh Sadev Hashem Elohei Yankev Yishlach Ezoham Mekadesh U'Mitzayin Yisadeka Yizkor Kol Min Chaysecha V'Oilasach HaYadach Neselo Iten Achachav Avecha V'Chol Atzasach HaYemolei Ran V'Bishul Asecha V'Shem Eloheinu Nidgel Yemolei Adonai Kol Mishal Asecha Ata yodaiti ki Hoshia Adonai Meshichei Yaneu Mishmei Kodshei B'Gubureis Yesher Minei Eile Levecha Ve'eile V'Susim V'Anachnu B'Shem Adonai Eloheinu Nidgel Nazkir Hema Karu V'Nafalu V'Anachnu Kamu V'Niseidad Adonai Yishem Melech Yanenu V'Yem Kareinu. Finishing up now, chapter 4. Tu B'Shvat is coming up soon. What does Hanukkah have in common with Tu B'Shvat? Tu B'Shvat is the new year for trees, when growing things get their blessing for the year, for their growth and for the year to come and for their fruits. What does that have in common with Hanukkah? Answer is that a living thing has to grow. Hanukkah, we have to every day add. The first day we light a candle. The second day, here's Mayan. We light a candle the second night, it's not enough. That was good for last night, not for tonight. Last night, we had to light 2 candles. And then last night we had to light 3. Tonight, in Mitzvah Hashem, we will light 4, growing and growing until the menorah is filled with light. So then we have lit a candle for each night and for the whole week. which means that the eighth day goes beyond all limits. 7 days stands for the cycle of time that is normal in the world, not natural. 8 stands for a force that's higher than that. So we're learning that mitzvahs are called the limbs of Hashem. When we do a mitzvah, we are putting on garments of thought, speech, and deed. And this unifies us with the will of Hashem, which is higher than the life force in creation itself. So therefore, the bottom of page 87, moving on, 1 moment, it says 1 hour, but it can mean 1 moment, a split second of tshuva and good deeds is worth more than the whole of the world to come. Why? Now he explains that the world to come, what is the world to come? There are different levels. One level of the world to come is a reward for your Torah and mitzvahs in this world, where you see, we do mitzvahs, we don't see what we're doing. We don't really see it. Some mitzvahs we do see, like lighting a Shabbos candle. We see the light, it changes the whole atmosphere in the house. And not only that, but it teaches us that all the mitzvahs that we do create light, create an atmosphere of light. But you don't always see it. When you give tzedakah, that helps other people to survive, to learn, to eat, to have clothing. That's something you can see, but you don't see the light. However, light is generated. What are you looking for, dear? Your notebook? Is this your private diary? Your notes? However, there's after the world to come. That's not the be all and end all. The bliss of the afterlife is not the be all and end all. In order to achieve that, to get there, so it doesn't talk about it in this chapter, but we know that after a person leaves this world, he or she needs to get cleaned up. It's not your fault. You're walking along the street and a car drove by and splashed, and the splash went over you. Your schmutz is all over your clothing. It's not that you're a bad person, but you got to get it cleaned. You got to take it to the cleaners. So we have 11 months of the cleaners, spiritual cleaners, to, when you go to the cleaners, how do they get your clothes clean? They have chemicals. And the chemicals are very strong, and they get all the dirtiness out of the clothes. So there's a spiritual place that gets all the schmutz out of our clothes. Our clothes are what we think. What's it called? It's called kafa kela. We're going to come to that. Kafa kela is a sling. Like David HaMelech when he was a shepherd and he had the sling, and he was he could fling a stone with great accuracy. And that's how he was able to bring down Goliath. The little opening, little space between his eyes and the forehead, the stone hit him right there. That's a sling. So what do? It says after a person passes from this world, so they take his neshama. That is to say, we have a nefesh, ruach, and neshama. The nefesh is connected most of all with the body and with the animal. And there's not just The nefesh is also the nefesh Elokis is also the nefesh Bahamas, the animal soul. So that has to be knocked out of any connection with you. Like if you have a rug that's full of dust, what do? You whack it to get the dust out. So they have to get out of the spiritual life within us, a connection with physical desires. Physical desires, there's no place for physical desires in the world to come because there's nothing physical there. So we have to get rid of, we have a lot of physical desires. How are we going to get rid of them? So they whip you from one end of the universe to the other spiritually. What is that? What happens? You think that you're in a place that you recognize, a physical place. And they whip you and you to the other end of the spiritual universe, and you see the truth of godliness. And you think, oh my gosh, what was I thinking about pizza? Or Bloomingdale's? You're seeing now the truth, the emes of the Champs-Élysées, of the Elysian fields, of the bliss of holiness. And you like it there. That's a pleasure that's worth having. So now you see that they take you and put you back in the sling and do it again the other way. Now you caught a glimpse of truth, and they fling you back into this world of falsehood, where people jump out of cars with automatic rifles and start shooting people. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? You don't want any part of it. Oh, good, you don't want any part of it. Put you back in the sling. Let's give you another taste of reality. That's called the sling. They sling you back and forth, and it's like getting the dust out of the carpet, and you disconnect the person from his connection, his or her connections on the level of the nefesh, and even on a more refined level, on that level of your feelings, which is nefesh, and any trace of connection with Olam Hazah, even on the level of your nefesh Elokis, your godly soul. And then when you're totally clean, it takes 11 months. In 11 months, now you are ready. I think it says that the nefesh goes through a river. You immerse, not in a mikveh, but in a river called Dinor. The river has a name. And you completely forget anything that you thought that you knew. And you enter pure, like a newborn child, into the world to come. But that's not the end all. That's just the world to come, the hereafter. There's much greater than that awaits you in the world of resurrection, when the body is returned to the soul. This was all disembodied. This was just what we were talking about now, was just the soul. In the world of resurrection, the body now returns, which the body has something much greater. That's what we just learned in this chapter 4, that the mitzvahs that you do are much greater than the nefesh, ruach, and neshama themselves. And that's why you came down into this world, was to get mitzvahs, because the mitzvahs are Hashem. Torah is Hashem, and mitzvahs are Hashem, and the only way you can get them is by learning it and by doing it. And you do that with your physical body. So now your physical body, which has new clothing of Torah and mitzvahs, becomes the inspiration, the source of life and energy for the soul. Okay? So that's what he's saying here. Why mitzvahs, that one moment of tshuva and maisim tovim. Tshuva means I want nothing to do with the falseness of this world. I only want to cling to the emes, to truth, which is godliness. and I'm doing something about it. I'm learning Torah and I'm doing mitzvahs. I'm helping at least one person to light a menorah. Okay, so that's worth more than the whole of the world to come, which we just described what the world to come is all about. Because the world to come, now on page 88, okay, the world to come is a radiance, that's to say a shine, like if you're in the hallway and you want to know that the class starts, so you see in the window, you see there's light coming from the class. It's a shine. You don't see the class, you just see a shine from the class. So there's a shine from godliness where God is there, the presence of God is there, and there's a shine. It creates a light. And you see that light in what we call the world to come. But the essence of godliness, continuing on page 88, the essence of godliness, the glory of Hashem, his 10 aspects that we learned about in chapter 3, which are united with him, this essence of godliness is way beyond anything that our minds can comprehend. So the world to come is where you confront that you perceive this light, this radiance from godliness, but the essence of godliness is the source of the light is still way beyond you. Like we said yesterday, the angels all say, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Where is he? He is in this world in Torah and mitzvahs." And no thought can comprehend that. That's Hashem himself in his essence. When can we, continuing almost at the bottom of page 88, when can we comprehend or have any connection with the essence of Hashem? Only ki im kasher tefisa umislabeshes b'Torah u'mitzvayseha. Only when godliness is enclothed in Torah and enclothed in its mitzvahs. And zahi tfisu mislabeshes, then the person grasps godliness and becomes united with the Holy One, blessed be He, because Torah, mitzvahs, and Hashem are one and the same. We're moving on to page 89 now. We're going to answer this question. Now we have a big question. You're saying I get the essence of Hashem in physical objects, in doing Torah mitzvahs, and taking an esrog and a lulav and shaking it. That's Hashem. That's an esrog. It's not Hashem, it's an esrog. I bought it in Kingston Avenue. How can you say Hashem is in these lowly material things? And what do you understand? You understand the way the esrog feels and the way it looks and the way it smells and the way it tastes. If you make a jam out of it, they say it's good for all kinds of things. So he gives you a comparison. Page 89, second paragraph. It is by way of illustration. That is to say, the word for an illustration is a mashal, a parable. Like a person who embraces the king or the queen. A person embraces the king, and you say, how could I embrace Hashem? Hashem is spiritual and I'm physical. So the answer is, you're embracing him, but he's in his clothes. So there's no difference in how close you are to him or how attached you are to him. We spoke about cleaving to Hashem, but the only way we can cleave to Hashem to express our love of him is through doing mitzvahs. That's the beginning of the chapter, right? If I perceive the greatness of Hashem and I want to be connected to that greatness, the only way I can be connected is through doing mitzvahs, right? But mitzvahs are physical things. I have candles. I have esrog and candles and money. Where is Hashem? And he says there's no difference. These are the garments of Hashem, and you want to embrace the king, you're embracing his garments, but he's in the garments. Good morning, Naomi.
Good morning.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And there's no difference when you embrace a king if he's wearing one garment or if he's wearing two garments, a shirt, a sweater, a robe, an overcoat, a tallis. Doesn't matter how many garments. Good morning, Nana, he's in the garments. So when a person is doing a mitzvah, the mitzvahs are with physical objects. You can touch a physical object. It's like embracing the king. You can't embrace the king, but you embrace the objects, and he's in the objects. His wisdom and his desire is embodied in this activity that you do with the objects. Kamesha Kasu, Yamine Tachabkeni. This is from King Solomon says this. Hashem with his right hand embraces me, because not only you embrace Hashem, but he embraces you. Two ways, goes two ways. With his right hand, he embraces me. What is Hashem's right hand? Hashem's right hand is the Torah. How do we, again, the metaphors crisscross. His right hand is the Torah, because the Torah is given with Hashem's right hand. It's given with love. And it's given from the right, not from the left. When you give something, whoever gives with warmth. And the right is connected with love, with kindness. And the right is also connected with water. That the Torah is like water that seeks light, gets stepped down as it goes. Like the source of light is greater and stronger than the radiance of light. But water is the same in its source with where it ends up. It's the same water. So that's another parable, another comparison to what Torah is. The Torah is also compared to, given from the right hand, which is the side of love and the side of water. This idea of an embrace, I'll tell you a story. There was a store here on Kingston Avenue called Mike's Hats. You could buy a hat there. When I first came here, the store was there. I bought my first hat. I saw a person from California once. He had a black hat. It was written on it, my first black hat. So Mike had a store, Mike's Hats. Mike was not a religious Jew, except in his essence. Really, you have to say he was not yet a religious Jew, but in his heart he was. And this whole community was not a Hasidic community. It was an assimilated community of secular Jews, so to speak. So, and he had a hat store here. And the Rebbe's mother used to live on the corner, in the building on the corner of President and Kingston. And every day he would go to visit her. He would walk up Kingston Avenue, and he would go to visit her. And there was Mike in his store. And you could see Mike through the window in his store. And he didn't wear a hat. When the Rebbe went by, he would tip his hands like this. He would go like this. Salute, like that. Walk, but never said anything. Somebody else might have come in and screamed at him. What's with you? Don't you know you're Jewish? Why don't you wear a hat? No, or a religious Jew doesn't go 4 steps without a hat, without a head covering, a car, yarmulke, something. And you're selling hats. No, that's what one kind of person might have said. Rebbe didn't do that at all. Rebbe didn't say a word. Rebbe just made a hello. Every day he walked up, and every day he would see Mike and go like this. And I don't know if they smiled at each other, they didn't smile at each other, but he walked every day. Finally, it sunk in. Maybe the Rebbe is trying to tell me something. I wonder. Does he do this to everybody? Did he go by every store? Does he do that? He decided he's going to watch. So when the Rebbe walked by next time, he went to the door of his store and he looked out and he watched to see how the Rebbe walked up the rest of the street, and he said no, he didn't do like that to anybody else. He just did that to him. And he was thinking about it. And he was thinking, maybe the Rebbe really is trying to tell me something. What would he be trying to tell me? If I have a hat store, why don't I wear a hat also? I could choose. I mean, I had all kinds of hats, according to my style, according to my predilection. Yeah, really? No. Oh, maybe, yeah. Could be. Could be. And so one day he decided to put on a hat and see what would happen. And the Rebbe walked up the street and he looked inside, he saw him wearing a hat, and he just kept walking. Didn't go like that. He was right. The Rebbe had wanted to tell him that he should wear a hat and was so sensitive not to say a word that would embarrass him or push him away. Just let him figure it out by himself. He fell in love with the Rebbe. He was so impressed with the sensitivity of the Rebbe. He said, I must meet this person. So he went across the road. I guess he must have worked himself up to this. He went across the road, went into the synagogue, and he said, can I get to see the Rebbe? They said, yes, it was early days, you could just do that. Like to see the Rebbe. Okay. So the Rebbe was available, and he was admitted to the Rebbe's room, and he went and he stood in front of the Rebbe's desk. And the Rebbe said, what can I do for you? Is there anything that you need? Can I help you? And Mike didn't know how to answer him. He said, well, I really don't need anything, Rebbe. I just wanted to give you a hug. And the Rebbe got up, walked out from behind his desk, and stood in front of the desk. So there he was, standing in front of the desk, opposite Mike. And Mike didn't know what to do. So the Rebbe said, no. So he gave him a hug, and the Rebbe hugged him back. Hasidim would never do such a thing. Hasidim are taught, you don't touch the Rebbe. The Rebbe it pushes away the holiness. The Rebbe's on a very high, holy level. And you're on the level, you don't touch. So, another story like that, I knew this person when he first came to the Rebbe, so his shliach told him, the Rebbe's going to tell you to sit down, don't sit down. The Rebbe's going to go shake your hand, don't shake the Rebbe's hand. You don't touch the Rebbe. So he came in, and the Rebbe said, would you like to sit down? So the Rebbe came in and extended his hand to take his hand. He jumped back like that. He said, my shliach said I shouldn't shake hands with the Rebbe. So the Rebbe took his hand in his hand, and he said, we won't tell the shaliach. Okay, happy Hanukkah, everybody. We finished chapter 4. Come back on Tuesday. We're going to start chapter 5. I believe you had one class in chapter 5 already, yes? Yeah? And I wish you all a wonderful, lichtige, happy Hanukkah and a happy New Year. Since this is, see you again on Hanukkah, there's a custom tonight and tomorrow night, the families get together to latkes, and it's called latkes avond, and they tell stories and give a Hanukkah geld. So I wasn't able to get brand new dollar bills for you. Even though I went several weeks ago, there were no new dollar bills available. But this is the best I could get. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
to the altar coming.
Потом долго выдавали, а еще... Я должна участить. Сейчас вот это, да, и все. Да. А у меня 7 больше там. Он сказал, что Гарман Всевышнего, это тоже не знает. Это правда? Через... Это кого-то еще делать давно. Мы говорим, что Гарман Всевышнего и экшен. Это Гарман, это не такое. Да, это מסתורה נשארתי במחקר בתוך שקית שחורה. Знаешь, как я думала? Я думала, что... Я просто думала, что... Я подумала, что было бы логично, если Тора имеется в виду Гарман Всевышнего, это то, что он нам передал. Ну, как бы, нам создавал. И я подумала, что спич, если это может быть какие-то, может, это божественные души, но как бы экшен, то точно не не знаю, потому что уже от животных, и поэтому это гармонс от ранних родителей. Что я подумала, что speech towards an action is garments from our parents. А гармонс Всевышнего это Тора Иисус, которого он передал, когда он нас создавал.
אני גם מתחברת כמו נכון. האופציות שלי אני נשמע שכולה יותר. למה? לא, תשמע לך אוכל. אם יהיה. למה שלא יהיה? תשמע לך לפני שאני. אני גם לא יודעת אם אני חוזרת, עד שלי שאנחנו עושות איתה באחד בטלפון, 12:30. אז לא יודעת, אני עושה 2:30. נכון, יש פסטות גם כזה, כן, ממש.
Понятно, что...
אז אולי נצא בנציג השיעור שלו.
Отчасти понятно.
כן, יכול להיות. זה יוכל בדיוק.
Понятно. There's a European thing that was they teach citizen people that are from. They want pictures of my life. They left? What? Oh, can I use this picture? Yeah. Знаешь, сказал, что не поговори, и не уверен, что я знаю. Ну, сам это предполагает. Можно это вопрос? Девушка. Что у вас?
Bueno, no está bien.
Sorry. I forget to breathe sometimes. like, like when, I don't even know how to explain.
¿No? Турецкий, который сделали, который дал турецкий, он еврей? Еврей? Да.
Just so you guys know, I do Tahitian tea at my house on Sundays. You guys are more than welcome to come. Basically, I just have girls come over and drink tea. And we talk about things that are on our minds. This past Sunday, like we got the names of the comes from Australia and the guides with to Helen together, like.
Non abbiamo mai detto che facciamo la nuova, guarda,
They don't want to post it on the warrant, it's separate, it's not, the school doesn't.
Send a message.
I had asked first, like a while ago, and they said it's better not to, because it's not associated with school, like they sent the drama chat, so. Anyways, the goal is every Sunday, so last Sunday was the first time, and. Sundays, yeah. And, well, so Sundays are correct, right, but if anybody ever wants to move from the chats, should we like reach out to you? Allowed
We just haven't really too
I can't talk about it. Okay, so, yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Figure voice. Very sad.
Be right back.
Almeno ci fanno il tempo di fare
Сегодня месяц скоро будет кавычка. Они слушают, что ты не
Ma te giorni e lui di casa dentro?
Shirley, how you pass through it? Did you pass your exam?
Yes,
How was it?
yes, specialist now, professional.
Yes.
Professional, but now, sir.
No, officially.
Yes,
certificate.
Yes.
I'm just gonna text you.
Oh my God. Nunca. So, yo anoche me daba la levanté a las 7 por siempre mi mamá. Mi mamá te queda, ¿verdad?
No, pero no doy que a las 9 de la mañana y no sé qué.
No, a las 9 de la mañana me fui a dormir. ¿Por cuándo?
Porque encima no hablan en
Ahora tuve que ir
I'll be right back.